Good day, everyone. Welcome to BPE313 Sports and Exercise Psychology. I am Jana Sibanzon, your professor for today's topic, which is History of Sports Psychology. So as you can see in here, I have prepared an infographic about history of exercise and sports psychology. So the terms you can find here are the terms that we are going to encounter during our discussion. So now we would dig deeper to know what happened during these eras. Early years 1893 to 1920. Norman Triplett, first sports psychologist and a bicycle enthusiast, belonged to Indiana University. He conducted first experiment of social facilitation. Next is E.W. Scripture. Is also a pioneer in sports psychology, conducted database studies of athletes in 1993. He examined reaction time and transfer of physical training. In 1903, G.T.W. Patrick discussed the psychopathology of play. In 1914, R. Cummins studied motor reaction, attention, and abilities. And lastly, in 1918, Coleman Griffith conducts informal studies of football and basketball players. Next up is development of laboratories in 1921 to 1938. During this era, laboratories in Department of Sports Psychology were established in Germany, Japan, Russia, and United States. Coleman Griffith is regarded to be the fifth North American sports psychologist who devoted his career for sports psychology and now known as the father of psychology. So in here you can see the contributions of Coleman Griffith. So in the third era is we have preparation for the future in 1939 to 1965. Franklin Henry, he devoted his career to the scholarly study of the psychological aspects of sports and motor skills acquisition. Other investigators from 1939 to 1965, such as Warren Johnson and Arthur Slater Hamel, helped lay the groundwork for future study of sports psychology. One individual doing applied work during this era was Dorothy Hazeltine Yates, one of the first women in the United States to both practice sports psychology and conduct research. Another individual doing applied work was David Tracy. His work was widely publicized and is credited with bringing attention to sports psychology. In period 4, establishment of academic sports psychology. Physical education had become an academic discipline now called kinesiology or exercise and sports science, and sports psychology had become a separate component in this discipline, distinct from motor learning. Motor learning specialists focused on how people acquire motor skills and on conditions of practice, feedback, and timing. In contrast, sports psychology studied how psychological factors influence sports and motor skill performance and how participation in sports and physical education influences psychological development. We have Bruce Ogilvy of San Jose State University was one of the first to do so, and he is often called as the father of North American applied sports psychology. In here you can see the years of the highlights of period 4. In this period, Dorothy Harris, a professor at Pennsylvania State University, advanced the cause of both women and sports psychology by helping to establish the PSU graduate program in sports psychology. Her accomplishments included being the first American and first female member of the International Society of Sports Psychology. Highlights in this era are the following. Next up, in this chapter, you will learn about the contemporary sport and exercise psychology in detail, but some of the key developments are highlighted here in year 2000, 2003, 2013, and as follows. And that would end my discussion. Thank you for listening, and I hope you did learn about my discussion. Goodbye and have a great day.